Yeah, so it's been a hell of a week for Kerry and I. Just trying to get out of this wind. Yeah, it's been super tough for us. We went up to Tamarindo and met up with the Parlay guys again, and they've got a couple of other guys they picked up this morning that are coming down. We headed down to Golfito. We've only done about, I don't know, probably 25-30 miles today, and the wind's been coming and going. We had a nice squall with a lot of wind, but that's dissipated now, and we're waiting for the next one, which is slowly approaching. I'm sure we're going to get a fair bit of wind. You can see the cloud line there. It's boom, making such a noise. Anyway, hopefully we can get back on the bicycle and cover a bit of distance before dark. The danger here always a bit of flotsam and logs and stuff, so you don't want to be sailing fast at night. So probably just jib sail tonight, or just check it out, see how the wind treats us. The sea is very jobbly. Yeah, sort of swell, wobbly, terrible. Not fun sailing conditions. But yeah, we had another hiccup this morning. We had, well, not early hours this morning at 1 o'clock off Tamarindo. We had a big squall and wind come through, a lot of rain, and both Colin and I dragged Parlay, and both had to get up, freaking pull anchor, reset. Ended up really close together, so I wasn't too happy, so I stayed awake from probably 2 o'clock with Kerry until sunrise this morning, when we lifted the anchor and reset it again. Yeah, I started the gen set because we haven't had sunlight for the last 2 days, and then the freaking Jenny threw a impeller, destroyed an impeller. So yeah, it's been a up and down busy, non-fun period. Anyway, we headed to Golfito now, and I can't do anything because of my leg, and we're just sort of working our way back to Panama, and then gonna try and work out how we're gonna deal with this visa story, and how we're gonna go about getting back to Miami, or going to Miami. So yeah, big changes, not a lot of fun. Yeah, the wind's looking pretty good. Seems to be healing up good. Antibiotics have done the job. So yeah, hopefully the infection is going to stay away. No fish today?
No.
Why? You did washing. We haven't even got hooks in the stuff at the back. So yeah, I'm still in one peg leg here, so I'm just hoping if we raise some we can play with them, Marlon. But yeah, the water's not great. It's been on and off, a couple of purple patches, a couple of green patches. Anyway, it's great if we get one up, just to see one. Heading towards evening. Nice big system behind us. Colin's back there somewhere, just underneath that cloud. Heading back to Panama. A little rainbow. Costa Rica rainbow. Hopefully that's the end of our shit. Yes, now that was one freaking miserable bloody night. It's still raining. It's been raining all night. The sea's upside down. We've had squalls into 25 knots, rain, lightning, you name it. Absolutely freaking miserable night. We left Tamarindo yesterday afternoon. Colin was like, the weather's looking so good, we're gonna do a nice sail, code zeros and spinnakers, gentle sail down to Drake's Bay. I said to him, is that what the forecast says? He said yes. I said, okay, we'll see. Well, that's what it looks like this morning. Freaking absolute freaking mess. Been pouring with the rain, everything is soaking wet. Been miserable freaking night. Worst weather we've had since being here. Yeah. Anyway, Kerry and I haven't slept. Been fucking miserable. It's just been one freaking cloud of rain all night. At least the lightning has slowed down. We were gonna go into Drake's Bay, which is a little chink there, but I'm gonna go straight to Golfito, into the Gulf there. That's Capos down there. Almost had a collision with this flippin' tanker. But yeah, it's been super miserable, man. We've got 13 knots of windstorm. It's up to 25. And we've been trucking along at sort of up to 12, 13 at times in the gusts. I was actually trying to slow it down because of all the flotsam and all the logs and stuff in the water, man. When you're going at that speed at night, it's seriously scary. And it was pitch black last night. You can't see a bloody thing, so it wasn't fun. Anyway, it's like everything's heaped on everything. My leg's nice and swollen this morning because I've been standing on it the whole freaking night. Anyway, but that's part of the freaking game. Night before last at Tamarindo, we had a squall come through at 2 in the morning. Rain, lightning, wind, Kerry up in the middle of the freaking night. I'm hobbling around trying to get things done, and shit, I didn't sleep. Stayed awake for the night. Basically 2 freaking full nights of no sleep, so it's bound to make anybody grumpy. Yeah, we've got about another 80 miles to go to get to Golfito, so at the moment we're doing 10 knots there, but probably between 8 and 10, so between, call it 10 and 12 hours if we're lucky, if the wind stays this way. So hopefully by, where are we now? I think we're about 5, just after 5. We should get in at 3, somewhere around about there, and yeah, I'm going to find an anchorage because we definitely need to sleep. I need to rest, but I need 2 days, just 2 days of doing nothing. Give this leg a chance. It's been crazy. Anyway, I don't know where Colin and the guys are. They must have had such a bad time with there, because he's only got a bimini top. He's got no screens. They must have got so wet last night. Maybe they pulled into one of the other anchorages along the way. There's only one really near Los Sueños, where they might have had some protection. So yeah, I'll just drop them a message and tell them that we've pushed on. I'm not going to go into Drake's Bay because the wind is blowing straight into the bay, and with the swell and chop and everything, it's going to be absolutely miserable inside there. So yeah, I'll push on, do another, I think it's about 50 miles to get into proper shelter. You bloody will need it. And now she's back up to 20 again. And we're doing some nice little speed runs over 12, 10, flying down these swells. Not quite as good as the last one. Sea's pretty freaking mixed up. But yeah, if we're going fast and we're going to get to shelter quickly, I'm super happy. Yeah, it still blows me away that you can sail these big vessels single-handed. It's incredible how fast they are and how quiet they are. You've barely noticed them moving through the water, even in those rough conditions. It's crazy. There you have it. The new dawn, our wonderful day. Closing down. 2 absolutely buggered participants in the game.
Yeah.
Yo.
Absolutely. It's been a tough one.
Absolutely knackered.
Long and tough.
Yeah, and this place is crazy. We had the wind coming from the northwest, and I was having a 30-minute nap, which is the only sleep we've had for the night, and the wind just swung from northwest to northeast, just like at the drop of a hat. It was just, I heard the boom bang and I got up, and Kerry was almost in a accidental job situation. So yeah, this place is nuts. I've said this 100 times. It's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, in fact, the whole section of the coast, Panama, including the east coast side at Boca del Toro and down to Tropic Star Lodges, and all the way up to top of Costa Rica here, it's all the same. It's super unpredictable, and it's definitely not the best place or the funnest place to sail. And sailing at night in these areas is a freaking nightmare because you've got no idea what's going to come at you.
And all the logs.
Yeah, plus all the debris in the water, all the logs.
Massive logs.
Last night we were, when we had
Ships.
last night with 25 knots of wind blowing and you're going up to 13, 14 knots, on your runs. If you run into one of those big pieces of timber, man, it'll go straight through the boat. It's not a nice feeling. And even in the daytime, the wind switches all the time. So I was saying to Kerry last night, I actually have not enjoyed this area because of the dirty water and the lack of facilities on most of the beaches to be able to get off and on without getting absolutely drenched or getting your duck filled with water. Going shopping is a mission because you can't just get off. We've got to try and find a corner where there's no swell, and the best on the low tide, not on the high tide, because the freaking little shory just dumps into the beach break. And it's a super difficult area, and I can see why not many yachts come up this way. It's not easy.
The yachting part is not easy, but there are some really lovely places.
There's some pretty little places, and
really
there's some
cute places and restaurants and whatever, bars, and very interesting, I'm sure. But to get there is a mission, and it makes it just that much harder. And
the fact that you've got such dirty water, especially now they've got red tide up on the coast, and you don't feel like swimming. It's really dark and dirt. No. It's not dirty. It's red and dark, and diving the boat is a mission you can't see. Yeah. It's not like, it just doesn't feel friendly. So yeah, as much as the people are friendly and all that, but it's just the whole setup is not easy.
You're going for that sort of island feel, and you want to jump off the boat into the blue water and swim and do things like that, go for a snorkel, and it's just, we haven't done that because it's really difficult. Even going on a kayak is a mission.
Yeah. Now the beaches are muddy. You've got the threat of crocodiles because there are plenty of crocodiles.
And
so you just never feel like it's just too kosher, Yeah, then you throw in the fact that it's during the raining season as well. Anyway, we're going well, and hopefully we're going to be in Golfito by probably 5 o'clock, and hopefully in some flat water. Now we picked up this little guy overnight. He looked like he had as bad a time as we had. Didn't have the heart to shoo him off the back of the boat, even though he was taking a dump all over our panels. Sometimes we all need a rest somewhere. Now just another example of this freaking CMAP bullshit. That's the island there. We were through and past it. And there's the island behind us over there. We've come through the gap. This is CMAP. We've yet to reach the island. We're actually going to go right over the top of the island, but the island's actually behind us. How the hell they even allow people to sell this crap is absolutely beyond me. This is why people get shipwrecked. And then they sell this for big money. Yeah, you could tell I was grumpy as hell and had enough of this whole story. Yeah, we were both definitely in need of some rest. A bit of rest can do wonders for your attitude and your spirits. Yeah, one of the reasons why we chose Golfito to do the rest for the leg was because of the proximity of the airport, and that they also had a small hospital, which is very convenient just in case there were any complications with the leg. Yeah, the past week's forced activities on the leg had left the leg looking pretty swollen and beaten up. Definitely needed a lot of rest. Oh, it's been 2 days and 2 nights of just pouring rain. This is light, and you can see the color of the water here. It's gone chocolate. Got a lot of rainwater coming down from the rivers. We're still in Golfito. We're probably going to be here for a little while. Got crocs swimming around the boats and in the mooring, so it's not exactly the kind of place you actually want to go for a swim. But yeah, after that nightmare trip down from Tamarinda in the night with the rain and squalls and lightning, we've sort of been holed up here trying to give the leg a rest. I think it's day 10 now. I don't know what you can see there. So it's starting to knit together and heal a bit better. Still getting a bit of seepage, but yeah, it's looking better. My nurse has been looking after me, Auntie Cherry. She's busy trying to connect to the internet and chat to people at home. Stuffy and hot, especially in the daytime. We've got fans running. We can't open any windows or anything like that, any hatches. It's a pretty bleak existence here, but we're managing. No idea where we're going from here. Hoping to get a visa for the United States. We just found out that a SA couple that went up to Mexico got into Mexico without a visa, which is incredible because you're supposed to have a tourist visa and a Mexican visa, the South African passport. They went up, they're residents of Panama, and they went up on SA passports and got 6 months, no problem. And a TRP, temporary import permit, yeah, TRP. They got a 10-year one, so it looks like it's doable. So maybe that's something we've got to think about. Hopefully the guys can sell the boat up on the west coast. That would be freaking perfect. You don't have to go to the canal. You go straight up via Mexico and then deliver it to San Diego or something like that. That would be first prize. Yeah, so this is our hidey hole. This is where we've been parked off for the last while, recovering from my leg injury. This is Golfito. Just looked out the window and saw this. And that is a transporter for game fishers, sports fishers, and other things obviously. But yeah, this is what should probably happen to our boat. Take it to Miami like that. Couple of bucks sitting on the back of that boat. That is for sure. Wow. Nice boats. But yeah, here we are, sitting waiting for the bus. Alright, so I think we're 10 days after the injury, roundabout. Mm-hmm. So I did an experiment to pull one stitch out, but on the bottom cut, the one that was least severe. Now let me just put some light on there. That one's looking okay. This one over here still weeping a bit. It's not looking so bright, so I'm gonna leave that for a while.
But you can see the skin has got like wrinkly there, so the swelling's
don't know
gone
so
down.
much. It's
got better.
It's gotten a bit swollen again today because I've been moving around again. But anyway, let's see. Let's get one stitch out. I'm going to try anyway, because these are a little bit more problematic. Oh shit! You see, I've taken a leg off, and that's what I didn't want to do. Well, there we go. Don't. Oh, well, that's come out, and there's still a piece of something in there. There we go. It's out. So that's one stitch out.
One stitch, there it lies.
So yeah, that looks, I'm not going to force it at all. That one there is buried quite deep in a cut, so I think I'm going to leave that. That was more just sort of an experiment. So that looks good, and I'll take that one out maybe next, and then these here I'm going to leave for a while because that's still got a lot of swelling and not looking so clever. Okay, so that's one. 9 to go. So there we have the leg. I'm just disinfecting this. The tweezers and things. Not that they should be a problem, but I've got to lift up this to get underneath. Okay, I think we got it. There we go, that's one. One more. Yeah, there's a toss-up between leaving the stitches in and your body trying to reject them and taking them out, which generally makes them heal much quicker. But yeah, there's no set time, so yeah, it's something you just have to try and work out yourself. Yeah, on second thoughts, I had a look at this one. There's actually too much movement there still. I'm not going to remove that one. That piece of scab came off there. It's looking too wet, and that's almost 2 weeks, so I'm going to have to leave that for a while. Now, it's looking reasonable, so I'm going to go for another one. There we go. 2 left. Just trying to see how solid. It seems pretty good. These other 2 are buried though under scabs, so this is actually where the biggest cut is, so it's a bit of a risk pulling that one off at the moment. Well, that's where the most swelling is at the moment as well. I don't know how much that is due to the cut or, you know, due to the reaction to the stitches. So maybe worth waiting another day and then jam those ones. And we're still in Golfito. Kerry just making some breakfast here. That's the sorry, lunch, whatever, brunch. That's the restaurant in the background. They've been kind enough to allow us to anchor between the main jetty of the marina and the fuel dock. It's not normally an anchorage area, but I spoke to Michael, the dock manager. He's a really cool guy, and I explained the situation. They said no problem, you could anchor there because we've got internet now, so it makes a big difference for us. I don't have to get up and walk anywhere. I've basically been sort of bedridden for the last week. I've basically been lying with my leg up and elevated. I've been sleeping with my leg elevated. It's been pretty worrying. My glands swell up my neck and I started getting sort of a lockjaw, a painful jaw. And man, we got really worried that I was getting sort of septicemia or some sort of infection in the blood. And we went on to second course of antibiotics. And yeah, it's looking pretty good considering. So yeah, super stoked that it's gotten to this point, and it looks like we're gonna make it, and we've weathered the worst. So I reckon another week of hobbling and then hopefully get going again. The biggest problem is the ligament, which was detached a bit. It was peeled back off the shin, so hopefully that's gonna knit back and we'll be good to go. Yeah, so it's been a seriously difficult time for Kerry and I, and we had a lot of time on our hands because it was just a waiting game. So join us next week as we get stuck into a bit of the maintenance issues which we faced with. I have to sort out some of the stuff on the Zodiac and on the motor. So make sure you subscribe and catch us next week as we go full on into sorting out all the problems and getting her ready so that we can move along. Make sure you subscribe and we'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.